Do you know what? This may be the first time I've ever come on stage and I am not taller than the microphone. Stand, that's what I meant. Shut up, fuck off. Are we all okay? Yay. My name is Dean. I am fully aware that I do look like a weird mixture between Wayne Rooney and Danny DeVito. I've been told all of them, by the way. What I've noticed is the older I get, the more bald I get. Just gives free range on people, random strangers, just offending me for no reason. It happens every time I go out. Like, I went out the other week, some guy came around to me and went, "Hey mate, you look like Darren Brown."
Did you do that?
It's a good job I know you. Fucking hairy armpits, right? I've been told that I look like Max Branning off EastEnders after a mild stroke. Sorry. Fucking hell. I've been told that I look like the result of what would happen if Dobby the house elf and Gollum off Lord of the Rings had a child. RoboCop with his helmet off. I would be a rich man if I got £1 for every time someone went, "Look, it's one of the 7 dwarfs." Jokes on them, because I was actually the 8th dwarf molesting. Don't know what made such intense eye contact with you there. Sorry. Everyone knows he doesn't want to have sex with somebody who looks like fucking Yoda. Sex you want? Weed's a good drug, innit? Yeah, there you go. Of course, everyone's going to say that we're in fucking Birkenhead. Of course they're going to say. People have to stop skinning up at the back of the room to get what? No, weed's fantastic. Weed's one of them drugs where two people can have a 25-minute conversation and realise at the end of the conversation that both of you were having a completely different conversation. Someone will go at the end, "Hey, what did you say?" "Don't know, what did you say?" "What are we talking about?" "I don't know." I've had this exact moment when I went to Amsterdam a while ago with my mate Francine, who's in the room at the moment, who did not know I was going to tell this joke and just looked at me as if someone's just crawled up her arse without her knowing. So we're there, we were beyond baked. It was ridiculous how we'd been smoking weed for about 8 hours, right? Sitting in this coffee shop, it was so smoky that if you walked out the room, you felt like you were on fucking stars in their eyes, you know what I mean? "Tonight, Matthew, I'm going to be baked," right? So I'm there, we're in a stone bubble, I haven't spoke to her for like 15 minutes, she hasn't spoke to me, I'm in a world of my own. In my head, a stone thought came out, which was, what would be taller, a cat with giraffe legs? Or a giraffe with cat legs? What would be taller? Right? Normal stone thought, right? So I posed this question to her, and without even a moment of hesitation, she went, "Oh, it'd be the cat, wouldn't it?" Why would it be the cat? And she went, "Well, the giraffe's legs are attached to the giraffe's body, so therefore the cat would have the giraffe's body on it, wouldn't it?" What? So, no, right, so the cat, all you're doing is you're taking the legs off the cat and the legs off the giraffe and swapping them around. So, yeah. She went, "Yeah, but the giraffe's body is on its legs." What the fuck are you talking about? We literally just take, right, and this went on 45 fucking minutes, this conversation went on for, right, and I was fucking raging by this point. So I went, just stop right there, right? I'm going to go over there a minute. So I walked over to this guy standing at the bar. He's got a pen and a piece of paper next to him. All he's seen was a tiny 5-foot angry bald guy walk over and go, "Mate, give me a piece of paper and a pen now because I need to draw a cat with giraffe legs." He basically gave me the same look that you would give someone if they broke into your house and took a shit in your bathwater whilst you were in it. You know what I mean? You'd be like, "Wow, who are you and what are you doing?" So anyway, the conclusion of that story is we never found out what was taller. So to find out who was taller, you'd have to figure out on average how long a cat's legs were, figure out on average how long a giraffe's legs were, including the neck as well, if you want to add that one in. And weed's a great drug, isn't it? So I haven't been laid for a while, believe it or not. It was last year, yeah, on a night out with you. It wasn't you though. She was a lot uglier than you. Yeah, anyway, I've been late for a while, which it's sort of I put it down to the fact that I am 5 foot tall and bald, because if you ask any woman in the world, most of them will say they're after tall, dark and handsome. Now let's analyse this against me, shall we? Tall? No. Dark? Definitely no. Handsome? Yes, if you put me to, you know, the sexiest person on the Burns Wood. Honestly, like, if girls, instead of being after tall, dark and handsome, I would do well if they were after small, pale and from the Shire. I would do very well. I'd literally be knee-deep in clunge, but no. But, like, I also think, like, sex has changed as well. That's also why, like, I'm the type of person where if I get any form of sex at all, I'm happy. You know, I mean, don't get it very often, but when I do, I'm fucking ecstatic, right? But it's changed so much. Like, porn's so easily accessible now that people have realised they're into some fucking weird shit. Like, what happened to the days of just getting, you know, a bit of missionaries, bit of doggy, it's all done? No, nowadays people are into things like donkey punching. You all know what a donkey punch is? Maybe some of the older generation, no offence, who don't know, a donkey punch is where you're doing someone from behind right up the fart box, right? And just before you're about to finish, you punch them in the back of the head and the bum all tightens up, and apparently it's meant to feel amazing. Not that I've ever done it. Don't worry, Dad, it's our little secret. But, like, that's fucking weird, isn't it? I couldn't trust anyone who does shit like that, so that made me then go on the interweb and find some sexual acts that people have done and gave names to. Now, you tell me if you can trust anyone who comes up with things like a shildo. Do you know what a shildo is? No, a shildo is where you take a shit into a plastic sandwich bag, mould it into a tube, freeze it, and then use it as a dildo. And that's how my parents met. There's a Mexican pancake. It's where you ejaculate onto someone's face, spread it around like a face mask, wait for it to dry, then peel it off and make them eat it. It's meant to be good for your paws though, that apparently, so that's good. There's a minivan, which is a bit like a shocker, 2 in the pink, 1 in the stink, except a minivan, like the car, you can fit 5 in the back. Oh God, you should see my fucking internet history, it's fucking ridiculous. There's this act which I quite like, it's where you ejaculate into your partner's mouth and then tickle them dead quick before they have a chance to spit or swallow. So hopefully it comes out of their nose, and that is called a white dragon. Milky knows all about it. There's one of my favourites, a rusty trombone, which a few people may have heard of that. It's where a lad's on all fours and somebody licks his arsehole whilst giving him a wank from in between his legs. A rusty trombone, for fuck's sake. I'd be disappointed I was getting, well, I wouldn't be disappointed I was getting one, that's not the complaint. The complaint is that I know while I was down on all fours and somebody was licking my arsehole whilst giving me a wank from in between my legs, they wouldn't be making the noise of the lair pack guy off the advert. I'm so sorry about this, really am. So I'm gonna leave you on this one. As a 5 foot man, I get free holidays. I do, because I'm small enough to fit inside a stranger's hand luggage at the airport. I'd like to actually do that one day, just for shit and giggles. Just see the guy's face when the bag goes through the X-ray machine. He's like, "Did you pack this bag yourself, mate?" Yeah. "Hey Gary, come and check this out." "Oh no mate, there's no problem. We're just wondering why you're trying to smuggle a 12-year-old boy with a 52-year-old hairline through customs." And he's got a fucking European toilet seat for a haircut. Right, I've been Dean Routledge, thank you very much.